you not working? There we go. Okay. So the conservation districts are actually a state entity under Hawaii Association of Conservation Districts and DLNR. So we are a public board. Our meetings are public meetings that any of you guys can attend. There's 16 districts around the state, and Kauaʻi has 2, both established in 1953. So, you know, that was 72 years ago. So pretty, you know, well-established group. We have 2 boards, as I said, so East Kauaʻi, West Kauaʻi. Here, you guys are on West Kauaʻi. Each board has 5 elected and appointed volunteers. So individuals that are concerned about the community, they're farmers, they might work in the agriculture or just be concerned of agriculture and conservation. So they are, as I said, volunteers that work on the board. Conservation districts work with local, county, state, and federal entities. And a couple things, we serve as a local resource for you guys, for the ag community. We also work with you guys to identify local priorities. Jenna had shared a little bit about some of the priorities that are focused on for Farm Bill. This also helps us determine maybe other grants or other projects that we can get involved with or help you or make sure that you have the resources for them. We connect Kauaʻi to state, federal, and non-government entities, so a lot of partnerships. We provide conservation education from keiki all the way to whatever age you're alive. We also provide erosion mitigation planning, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Of course, all land uses, just agriculture doesn't mean farming, just cropland, right? Can mean forest, can mean livestock, pastures, wildlife conservation is included in some of that. And then Kauaʻi, the SWCDs are one potential focal point for agreements. So conservation planning. Sorry guys, I want to make sure I see it too. So we talked a little bit about conservation plans and those programs, right? Conservation plans are part of the programs, but as well as providing information for you guys. So agriculture operations, no matter what size you are, you can have a half-acre farm up to a 1,000-acre ranch. You're encouraged to get a conservation plan and to utilize conservation practices within your operations. Sound conservation practices help natural resources, and it's an important step in developing your farm plan when you're thinking about how your impacts are on natural resources and maybe how some of those natural resources, if they degrade too far, might actually negatively impact your operation, right? So it's kind of a big thing to think about. How do you benefit? Basically, we help identify present or potential resource concerns when we come out to your site, suggest practices to mitigate for those concerns, and then provide implementation information for you to be able to implement those practices. It helps protect your natural resources, so soil, water, air, animals, plants. And then you're receiving free technical information from planners that are specifically tailored to your operation. I mean, that's a pretty sweet deal right there, right? It's also a non-regulatory perspective for assistance. So we come to your site to help you. That is our goal, is to work with you and help you and make sure that you have the knowledge that maybe you don't know, that there's something, that you may need to implement on your farm that you didn't know from before. So free resource to helping you. No? Sorry, guys. There we go. One of the things that the conservation districts are responsible for is an agricultural exemption. Some of you guys may have heard this if you were building a house or building a structure. It's the Ordinance 808, and otherwise known as the Sediment and Erosion Control Ordinance, or Grading and Grubbing Ordinance. That's another thing that we all call it. Basically, if you have activities of disturbing more than 1 acre of land, or excavation and fill that's more than 100 cubic yards, or you dig or pile more than five vertical height or depth, 5 feet in vertical height or depth, it triggers that potential need for either a permit or an exemption. For ag, we have an exemption process. Basically, the exemption process requires you to get a conservation plan and to then present your plan to the conservation district board, who then may give you advice, or if it's good to go, they'll approve it. You can take it to the county and be able to get an exemption to ensure that, basically it's to ensure that you're not negatively impacting, especially people around you. So some things like, for example, no alterations to drainages that can in fact impact people below you. We've heard of stories of where you do something up above stream and then it negatively impacts the people below you, right? So basically you're just trying to mitigate for that. So as I said, the conservation plan needs to be approved by the conservation districts. It does need to comply with our state historic preservation division. So there is a review process for that we help with. And then the application and review with the County of Kauaʻi Public Works. So that is important to know. And we do have flyers back there for more information, or if you have any other questions, you can definitely ask us. Okay, so another thing, back to when we figure out what kind of local priorities you guys are concerned about, this is an opportunity for us to be able to, maybe seek other opportunities to help the community. So in this case, we were able to apply for and received a feral swine perimeter fence program. That's something that, big concern. So basically just wanted to plug this. We do have this. Our application period closes on January 24th. So if you're interested, we have applications back there. And please ask Kimmy or I for more information regarding that. And then we're done if it lets us be done.
Yeah. You got a question?
Yes.
That the fence. Put up the fence?
It's to put a new fence in. Yeah, it cannot be an existing fence. Same with any other conservation practices. Why are you not working? There it is. I don't know. It's still, yeah. So you heard that there were 3 NRCS employees in the office. Well, in the same office, we have 3 district employees. You have me. We have Brian Kwok, who's another conservation specialist. And then Kimmy Reed, who is our district assistant and outreach specialist. So there's another set of individuals that you can contact for information. And if we aren't the right source, we'll try to connect you to the correct source. So yeah, any other questions before we change over? And actually while I'm changing over. So I hope to see those of you that don't have conservation plans to come talk to our office and, work on that. Thank you. It worked for you, but it didn't work for me.